Hello and welcome to Naval Action. This is VMAQ2-X. It's Sunday, April 20th, about 10:30 in the morning. There's 930 online, 171 battles. Let's look at the map. Spanish continue the conquest of the east coast of the United States. British have a solid lock on the Gulf Coast of Florida and still half of Cuba. The British and the Spanish are kind of mixing it up on this side of the Yucatan now, and the Spanish have firm control of the western side of the Yucatan. Pirates got a hold of their central control of area here, Spanish here, and the pirates continue to push the French out of the Leeward Islands, the northern side of it. There's fewer and fewer French ports up here, it seems every day. The French control down through here to the northern part of South America. The British still have their toehold here. And then the Spanish butt up against the French. And it looks like the French are trying to make an incursion into this area, tie all this in with their hold on Central America. So looks like the French are trying to control this part of the map. Pirates and the Spanish are fighting over this part of the map. British and the Spanish are fighting over this part of the map. And in the green zone, it's the status quo. Spanish own 2 ports, and the French own 1. All the others remain unowned. So that's the current status on the map. And it looks like we're almost to the point where the battle lines are drawn. Let's look at port battles. These are the port battles set for today. There's 3 set for today, and 2 have already been set for tomorrow. Looks like Spain continues to try to take the east coast of the United States. And we're starting to finally see clan versus clan battles. These one where you only see one attacker, those are neutral ports. When you see 2, those are clan versus clan. Contested ports, no contested ports at this time. So that's what's on tap. I would like to take the time here to answer a question. Can we get a guide on blueprints? I have an outpost but have nothing to build. This is from Rogue Sky Pilot. Thank you. Blueprints. I honestly don't know of any guide other than the Netflixy map. That has a list of the blueprints. We'll switch over to that in a minute and have a look. But crafting in this game, since the white patch, is very different than it was before. And there's a lot of people upset about that. You know, before you would craft the raw materials. Now the raw materials are sold to you in the store. That's like the baseline place where you go get, if you need oak logs, you buy it in the store. If you need lignum vitae logs, you buy it in the store. If you need stone block, you buy it in the store. Before, you would have mines and forests, and you would just harvest that on a regular basis, and then you would use that. And the other part of it is that crafting is also been heavily changed from the last iteration in the game. You are set on a strict path for crafting. There's no do what you want. You're going to follow the path that they've laid out for you to get where you want to be. So like I said, I wanted to be making my own ammunition and cannons. And so I had to start down that fixed path. And the path starts with you have to build your first building at whatever port you choose. Once you've bought the permit for an outpost and then you've built the outpost, then you get these empty plots and you can build your shops. Now, before there were many buildings that you would have. You would have like oak forest, teak forest, stone mine, iron mine, coal mine, whatever you were harvesting to craft with. Now, there's just three choices currently: the workshop, the forge, and the shipyard. And there's an order that you're going to get these. So when you click build the building, the workshop is, if you're at 0 as far as your craft XP, you can buy any of these buildings at 0 craft level. You can buy any one. The thing is you can't use the buildings until you reach a certain craft level. So at craft level 0, you buy the workshop, and then you got to go to craft level 3 to actually be able to use the forge. I mean, you can own it the same time you own the workshop, but you can't use it until you reach craft level 3. Likewise, the shipyard. You have to be at craft level 15 before you start getting any recipes that drop for the shipyard. And I think the way they've set the path of recipe drops, you are actually kind of forced. After you buy the workshop, you're going to be forced to buy the forge to progress, and then you're going to be forced to buy the shipyard to progress up the tree of blueprints. The line of crumbs that you're following. So let's click on the workshop, and when you first open the workshop, the blueprints that you're going to have available here on the very first moment you've bought it, you open it the first time, and you're going to have these encyclopedia blueprints. So the art of shipbuilding blueprint, the art of ship handling blueprint, the gunnery encyclopedia blueprint. I believe there's one more. The Book of Five Rings blueprint. These require books that you're going to get from sinking ships. You'll find loot in the holds, and you'll find books. The only other item that you're going to have available at craft level 0 when you first open the workshop is charcoal. Where's charcoal? Right here. So to craft charcoal, you got to buy oak logs. You buy the oak logs, you bring it back, and you craft it. You're going to get so many craft XP per lot. See, this is like number 1 right here. So to make 1 lot of oak logs, it takes 40 oak logs. It makes 100 charcoal. That's 1. And at the beginning, it gives you like maybe 3 or 4. I believe mine was 2. I saw 2 craft XP for each one of these lots. And you got to get to the first step, you got to go to 40. So you got to have 40 XP before you can go to the next recipe. So you got to go from craft level 0 to craft level 1. That was 40. Then you got to go to craft level 2, which was 41. And I think it stayed at 41 for a couple more levels, and then it's gone up. You can see right here that the craft level's at 52 that I got to obtain for my next level, and I'm currently at craft level 18. So they're increasing the XP every so many craft levels you hit. They're going to increase the XP for the next one. Again, like I said before, they always are going to make the mountain higher for you to climb as you get better at this. And the other thing that happens is the first time you use the charcoal blueprint, you're going to get the max XP for it. But as you go the next level up, once you hit like craft level 1 from 0 and then craft level 2, once you've gone so many levels above your initial level for charcoal, when you craft charcoal, it gives you 0 now because I've gone beyond. This is to prevent people from farming like major amounts of the lowest item to get the most XP and like make exponential jumps. They want you to follow the set path, and they're pretty much making you do it. So after charcoal, the next item that they gave, once I hit craft level 1 was oak planks. And then after that it was sail canvas. That requires hemp. So now you gotta, the first 2 levels, it required oak logs. Now there's a new product you gotta go out and locate and craft. So that's sail canvas. You gotta get hemp. And then after that, the next item was, at that point, you're at the level where you're gonna have to buy the forge. Because now we're at craft level 3. The forge is craft level 3. You got to pay 10,000 reals to open the building, and you got to be craft level 3 to use it. And so then the first recipe drops for the forge. So what's that? Iron fittings. Iron fittings requires iron ore and charcoal. Well, you've been making charcoal, so now you've got a bunch of that. Now you got to go find iron ore and purchase that and bring it back, and then you can make iron fittings. And then this is giving you a certain number of craft XP until you've gone a couple of levels beyond it, and then it gives you 0. Eventually, all of these low-end items, everything on the map below a certain level, like 3 levels below 18, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to get anything for it. So like here's the 4-pound medium gun. That's only giving me 7 right now. And this was craft level 16. So I imagine the next level or so, that's going to go to 0. Here's grape ammo. It gives 0. This was in the mid tiers. Now I'm going to switch over to the Net Fliffy map, and it can show you what is at what craft level. So we'll, give me a moment here, and I'll switch over. Okay, here we are at the Net Fliffy app, Naval Action Map 2. Now, there are 2 categories here that deal with blueprints. We'll look at this one first, although I'm not too hot on it. What this does is this shows you the ingredient and what you make out of the ingredient. So barrels, you make gunpowder, provisions, and rum. Ball ammo, you use in chain ammo and grape ammo. Oak log, you make charcoal and oak planks. So if ever you're sailing around and you see something in the store and you're like, is this something I use in crafting? You can come here and kind of look through here and see what you use to make what. So fish meat, you'll see that in a store. What do you use fish meat for? Well, you make provisions out of it. Sulfur, you make gunpowder out of it. Saltpeter, gunpowder. So this tells you what you make out of this item. Now I think a little bit better listing is here on this selection. Admiralty items. This tells you what it takes to make. Like 100 charcoal, you need to use 40 oak logs, you need to be at craft level 0, and it's going to give you 2 crafting XP at craft level 0. When you start going up in levels, the XP that you get drops for everything here. So eventually everything here, once you get high enough, will be 0. And the reason for that is they're trying to prevent you from gaming the system. Is that a good term? So let's go down here to cannons. So I'm up to 4-pound medium gun. It takes this to make a 4-pound. To make 12 4-pound medium guns, it takes 48 charcoal, 72 iron ore, 48 oak planks, and 48 ropes and blocks. I have to be at craft level 16, and at craft level 16, it will give me 14 XP. Now we just looked at that, and I'm not getting 14 XP now. You know, it's like 7 because I'm at craft level 18. So as I've gone up, the XP have dropped, and eventually the XP will be 0. In another level or two, this is going to give me 0 XP. Now the guns go all the way up to craft level 42. Actually, the guns go up to the 42 pounders. That's the biggest gun in the game, and that's at craft level 85. Now you can see it's not exactly like there's like 3 steps between each level gun, basically. And as you're going up the list, what's between these various levels? So between the 42-pound medium gun at 81 and 42-pound long gun at 85, what recipes are dropping inside of there? And those are the ship recipes. So to see those, we'll go back to the in-game. So hold on. Okay, here we are back in port. Now, we've looked at all the blueprint material requirements for all the lower items like the consumables and materials. But what about the ships? So click shipyard, craft, and then as the recipes show up, you can click on them and see what it takes. Now, the base ingredients are the same for pretty much every ship. What changes it is your wood selections. Like if you select live oak, it will add that category. You know, so as you choose the different woods, it will stick it in down here and what's required. That's really the only thing different between any of the ships' recipes. It's basically the same. They all use these same base items, provisions, and then whatever special woods you're using to make them. Now, unfortunately, you can't see every recipe. Here's all the blueprints. We'll narrow it down to ships because you're not that craft level yet. So here's the Wasa, craft level 67. I can't click, but you can see at what level you're going to unlock that blueprint. So the Victory unlocks at craft level 84. The ones you can click, you can see that the letters are black. It's not grayed out anymore. Here's the Santissima Trinidad. Unlocks at 86. And it looks like it gives 0 craft level. 0 craft XP. How about that? So the minute you unlock that, you're not getting any craft XP. I guess that's because that's at the top. There's that super ship that was just introduced into the game. Let's find it here. I don't see it. Here's the Admiral De Ruyter, craft level 75. Duke of Kent, that's the one. Craft level 86. Gives 0 craft XP. I guess 86 is the top of the mountain. After that, it's not going any higher. That's when you get all the biggies. So that's what you got to get up to. Is craft level 86 to be making your top of the line first rates. 86 for the Santee. And the recipes between a Santissima and a Lynx are going to be very close to the same list of items. It's just what special woods are you using to outfit it with, and the quantities are going to be exponentially higher than what this is. I can guarantee you it's going to take more than 247 fur logs to build a Santee. And iron fittings, all of these items are going to just grow and grow and grow. Going to stretch your capacity to the max as far as manufacturing. So, we can select the different categories. Consumables. I have all those blueprints because these are all the low-end beginning step items that they make you learn. Materials, manufacturers. I have all these. There's no grayed out selections. So the only thing I'm going to be getting recipe drops on in the future are cannons and ships. And they're staggered. They're staggered so that as you learn a ship, at the same time you're going to be learning the cannons that equip that ship. And for those players that were counting on using their redeemables at the very beginning of the game, like here's the victory. Well, you can redeem it, but to equip it, you're going to be at the mercy of the guy who in the store is already crafting those guns. So there's 32-pound longs. It looks like that's the highest level gun in this store. It's crafted by a player, and this is the price he's charging for it. So, is that fair? Well, fair is what he thinks is fair. It's his gun, he made it, and he can sell it to you for what he wants. It's not what you want, it's what you're willing to pay. Again, players. 6-pound longs. Now, I think the store only sells up to a certain caliber. I think from 12-pounders on, it's players exclusively. So 4-pound, 6-pound, 9-pound, maybe the Admiralty selling guns, 2 pounds maybe. But beyond that, it's a player-based deal, it looks like to me. And that's especially true for long guns and carronades. Well, it looks like the Admiralty's making 4-pound long guns. But they're not making 12-pounders. Those are players. And all of these guys, this Mr. Creechbaum, I'm seeing his name everywhere. So, hats off to him. This guy worked his butt off, got up the craft tree. I imagine for too long we're going to be seeing 42-pound long guns in here, crafted by Mr. Creechbaum. Shout out to you. Effort pays off. He made the effort to get to this level, and now he's getting paid for it. So, congrats to him. But you can see, I think I've explained the basics pretty well. Your raw materials you purchase in the stores. There are various drop sites throughout the map for these items. If you want to know where those drop sites are, I highly recommend the Net Fliffy map. The Naval Action Map 2, I believe is what it's called. You can click on each port and see what it drops. So you know where to go to get the raw resource you need. The craft tree ensures that you make all your consumables and materials. You learn to make those before you make your first ship and first cannon. And then from that point on, the cannons and ships alternate. The idea is as you craft a certain ship, at the same time you're crafting the guns for that ship. Right on up the tree to craft level 86, which is the pinnacle, where you're crafting the monsters of the sea. So, I mean, I've given you the basics. So, it's nothing else to do but to go out and get it done. And I wish you luck. I'm on my path. I'm making my way through, and I wish you the best in your endeavors in this game too. Thank you very much.